Oh, guys, is it me or did it get really cold in here? Woo-hoo! It's a good thing I got my nice cup of black to warm things up, right? Check that out. That's my motto right there, because I'm amped up to talk about turf today, guys. Today we're talking fall mowing height and everything you need to know to make sure that your lawn is in its best shape for 2022. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so the first thing I want to address is why. Why do we need to mow the lawn lower than normal as we head through the fall into winter? Well, the reason we want to do that, number one, is we want to alleviate any matting that could take place going into the winter and into spring. If you leave the lawn longer than normal, what could happen is all that unwanted weight that goes onto the turf over the winter, such as walking and driving, which I advise against, the grass lays over, and what happens as the springtime comes along, that airflow is being blocked from getting down into the dirt where it needs to go, and because of that, your lawn develops a little fun disease that we talked about earlier called snow mold, which comes from massive layover and matting in your lawn. So one thing we could do to reduce that right out the gate is to mow the lawn lower as we exit the season. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about how I go about approaching this, especially considering that I'm making this video early to mid-October 2021. How am I going to approach this till the end of the season so I can get the lawn down where I need it to for 2022? So essentially what I like to do is I like to start lowering my mower deck a notch from what I've been cutting the lawn. Cool season friends, my Kentucky Bluegrass and Rye folks, if you're cutting at 3.5 inches right now, you're going to want to bring that down to 3, whereas with tall Fescue, which is a little more hardy, you're cutting that at 4, maybe even 3.75. You want to bring that down to about 3.25 inches. You also want to bag. The idea being, guys, is we want to clear the playing field, right? When we bag the lawn and we cut it a little bit lower, especially in the fall time, we're going to go ahead and clear the playing field, if you will, and also prevent clumping, because what can happen when you go lower and your lawn is double dark green and thick, like I taught you how to get it, that can lead to clumps when you mulch. So when you bag, you're preventing that the first couple of times, and then after that, you can mulch if you ever so desire, or you can keep bagging it and stay on top of the leaves. However, I advise that after 2 cuts, maybe mulch a couple of times to get some of those leaves down into the soil, as they do have organic matter. So that is what I would recommend as far as mowing the lawn a notch lower than normal. And then what you want to do is you want to keep that up until the lawn officially stops growing, or at least slows down significantly. And then what you want to do to finish it off is you want to mow it one more time. Only difference now is you're coming down another notch. So Bluegrass Rye 2.75, Fescue around that 2.75, 3-inch range. Do one last cut with the bag on to prevent any clumping, because again, you are getting down deep into the grass again. Just pick up all those leaves, keep the playing field clear, and boom, you are good to go for 2022. What I recommend you do from here, guys, is I recommend you check out these 2 videos right here. This one right here, we're talking about when to officially stop mowing the lawn. It touches a little bit more on the timing aspect for some of you, as it's a little tricky nowadays. And number 2, another video right here where I talk about treatments that you can get down on the lawn to help close it down for winter so that your lawn is double dark green and thick before anybody else's in the spring.